and that money was refunded. We can provide the evidence of refund with respect to the same.
Before the refund, can you run us through the process? The process of sending 5 million to the speaker for his house warming. What's the decision process? You sat down in cabinet, a paper is presented, the speaker is warming his house, he needs 5 million to do so, we send it to him. Give us the flow. Or is it the CEO or CC just deciding, let's send 5 million to the assembly?
Ordinarily, Chair, it is initiated by a request from the assembly, that is the clerk and the speaker.
Are we able to get evidence of that?
Yes, we should be able to provide.
Does it exist, or it is going to be created?
It exists, Chair, not be created, it exists.
Fine, after the request?
In that case, the request is made to the CCM in charge of finance and economic planning.
Correct.
Who ideally seeks the approval of the county executive, and if they're in agreement, we now disburse the funds. For that activity, ordinarily, Chair, for it to happen, the assembly draws from the same revenue fund with the executive.
No, just a minute. Let's go slowly. There are 5 transfers here: 38 million, 6 million, 15 million, 2 million, and 5 million, all cumulative 66 million. Are you able to demonstrate that the law was followed in all these transfers, or they fall in the same WhatsApp group as the one that we've prosecuted from deposits and retentions?
Chair,
if I was to send the Auditor General or EACC to look for the paper trail to support the 66 million and to confirm that it was lawful and prudent, will there be evidence?
Chair, some of them are related, like the 38 is related to the 6. Remember, the OAG said total figure was 44 million.
No, they can't be related. They are different dates. They are different transfers.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different transfers, 66 million. And that's why I'm saying it's systemic. It's not just something that happened once. But if it's happening every other time, we would be happy to see whether you have put in place a process to ensure that it is not abused. Does that evidence exist?
In the current status, Chair, that is the system we've put in place
for the 6, for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, for the ones that you've attached here, remembering that this is your document, are we able to support through documentation that already exists, not the one that is going to be created, how these transfers and how the decisions were made?
Yes, Chair, I may not guarantee for all of them, but I'm assuring the Senate that in the current situation...
So you're talking of going forward. So we need to deal with this, because this is an offense. You agree that we need to prescribe, because we have done enough tests and diagnosis. Now it is time for prescription.
I agree, Chair.
Honorable members, what is prescription?
In addition, the governor did not answer the basis and the justification, because you asked a question, are we giving them too much money until they decide to give us warming? So I need, in anything, Chair, and to the governor, is there must be proper justification, even if it is legal, even if it is an official function. But the point is, give 5 million for the speaker's house warming, which the CCM has said that it is an official function. Is there a threshold on how public money should be used? And I think that should be the question. If today there is no drugs in where we were, what is the name of that place, near Nyangori, and the speaker wants to do housewarming, do you buy drugs in Nyangori Center, or do you give the speaker 5 million for housewarming just before Christmas? And if the speaker wanted to see when Jesus was born in our hearts, you no longer need to celebrate. So the question is, where is the justification of releasing 5 million? And I've been listening to this. He has not given us a train of the justification of 5 million to the speaker's housewarming. If he can give us the justification, Governor, sorry, Chair, for that more. If the people of Vihiga today listen, that the speaker was given 5 million for housewarming, even if it is an official function, do you think out of humanity, do you think they will agree with what happened? Do you think it is fair? Do you think it is justifiable? Do you think it is moral? So, Chair, I think on this one, we must pronounce themselves, and in my own opinion, it should be directed that they should refund this money. People who used on service and everything, this money must be refunded. This 5 million. It is not justifiable spending.
Are you not worried that under the circumstances, even oversight will be blood? How does the assembly oversight and ask questions when you're the ones who financed their last party?
I don't know the documentation here, but what I know is that the function that took place at the Speaker's place was the official.
Point of order, Chair. The governor is a former member of parliament. When he took an oath, he owned this documentation. So when he say, I don't know which documentation do you have, you know, Governor, somebody might think I'm manufacturing. Can you own first the document? This is what you submitted.
Yes.
Then you are a man of letters. Can you choose carefully your words?
I apologize for that because what I know is that the money that was given was for the official opening of the Speaker's house. That's what I know, but the writing here,
Governor, the narration here.
The narration here.
The narration is borrowing to finance Speaker's house warming. That is a narration in your documents. And Governor, you are a long-serving member of Parliament, and you have a fairly good record in public service. The reason why I keep asking, what is the process? What is the procedure? Where are the decisions made? Perhaps people are bypassing you and doing these things. But at the end of the day, you are the one who ends up looking like a clown for sending money to the assembly for housewarming. So please go back. Before we prescribe the stiffest sanctions, you must also go back and take administrative action. Because it makes you look bad. When it is reported that you're taking money from contractors, first of all, to go to car loans and mortgages for members. That might not be too alarming, but you're still taking money from contractors, deposits and retentions, and giving the assembly to throw parties. A housewarming for the Speaker's residence. 5 million Kenya shillings for housewarming. It is unacceptable. Unless we have gotten to the point where you have drugs in hospitals, then at that point we'll stop believing Senator Sotsi, because sometimes he tells us that there are problems in markets, there are problems in hospitals, there are problems with water. I think Senator Sotsi is giving us the wrong account, because Vihiga has enough money to spend 5 million in housewarming. So it makes the governor look very bad. In fact, it makes even Senator Sotsi, even the members of County Assembly, look very bad. And I think we have some very good members of County Assembly. In fact, I thought that the Public Accounts Committee of the County Assembly would be here, because we've interacted with them in the past. They've done a fairly good job. So these small things might make you look like you don't know what you're doing. Go back and take stern action. Stop this thing. It makes you look bad. We passed a law for financial autonomy of county assemblies. Please stick to it. And let's give hope to the country, because of all the important things you have said today, unfortunately, this might be the one that finds itself in Luanda Market. About the 5 million
Chair,
for housewarming.
and for your information, anasema Mugala muwe na haki mpe, Senator Otsosi was in the forefront alongside Taita Taveta, Elgeyo Marakwet, Isiolo, Vihiga, Tharaka Nithi, which when you are doing division of revenue and the fourth basis of the formula, they really begged us, literally one by one, until Vihiga was given almost additional of 400 million. Yet now, in fact, if this information had come to me before that there was 5 million for housewarming of a Speaker's residence, I would have refused to add 400 million to Vihiga. So, Governor, it cannot be that your senator is pushing us, telling us there are problems. Then when it comes to attention that there was some 5 million that was spent on the housewarming of a speaker's residence. It's very unfortunate.
And to add to that, Chair, maybe also for the assemblies, we are giving them too much money. Maybe the 11%, 13%, 14%, and a kara is too much. Maybe we need to go by the 7%. Because if you can have a budget line of 5 million to own one house belonging to the speaker, this is too much. Maybe even the assemblies are also getting too much money.
Senator Osoti.
Thank you, Chair. I want to agree with the committee that I think this money must be refunded back to the county executive. But my concern is on the commitment by the county assembly to pay this money. Because if I look at the letter that was done on the 17th of March, this letter is not signed by the substantive clerk. It's signed by someone called Peris Odari. So maybe on that note, the executive should tell us, is there any commitment based on this letter to repay this money to the county executive? Why didn't the substantive clerk be the one to write this letter to the county executive? Who is this Peris Odari? Is it the deputy clerk or who is he?
Yes,
Because,
she is the
I know-
deputy clerk.
You don't have substantive clerk?
There is a substantive clerk. Such a letter should be done by the substantive clerk because he is the chief accounting officer of the county assembly.
So I know this could be murky waters for you as a senator, because for both the assembly and the executive, you are their representative at the apex. So we'll also look at the financials of the county assembly. We shall deal with Odari or the clerk at that level. But at this point, there can only be two things we prescribe. One is action be taken on the illegality of transferring money from ring-fenced funds without the necessary authority. That is an offense in the Act. Number two, the accounting officer must recover the funds. The Auditor General had read to us some provision in the regulations that places that responsibility on the accounting officer. So we will not be running after Paris. We are running after the accounting officer. We'll run after Paris when we are looking at the books of the county assembly. But as we are looking at the books of the executive, that responsibility, that duty lies with the accounting officer. OAG, Patrick, you had read that provision.
Yes, we refer to it, but maybe I can look for it and read again the exact provision of the law.
But, Governor, make sure this stops. This sends the wrong message, and I wish your Secretary General was here, even though your deputy party leader is here. This should not be what ODM counties are known for. I'm not sitting here as an ODM member, I'm sitting as a chair, but I see your senator is here. Please change this narrative, do the right thing, stop this bleeding of public resources. For 5 million. Governor, you have the mic?
Yes, I think I appreciate your advice and I'll take action.
Fine, members.
Chair, on a lighter touch, I want to, you know, food is a serious matter in that region. I wanted to know whether the area senator was invited, because maybe he can also be a witness. Maybe he can tell us whether he was invited or not. You know, he's also the deputy party leader of ODM. Was he there? So that we are aware whether this event happened. Maybe we are discussing.
I was trying to protect him. I didn't want him to say too much about this. Were you part of the party?
No, Chair, I was indeed invited, but I did not attend because you are aware that that same house has audit queries with this committee as well.
Yeah, so I think this one allow us to be the ones to squeeze the boil, because definitely there's a boil there that needs to be squeezed. Now, So you're giving 5 million for a housewarming, but you've got 1.7 billion as pending bills. That's the next audit issue, long outstanding trade payables. 1.71 billion.
Yes, paragraph 5, long outstanding trade payables. The statement of financial position and as disclosed in note 16 to the financial statements reflects a balance of 1,710,935,139 in respect of trade and other payables. The balance includes trade payables of Kenya shillings 1,480,433,982, comprising of Kenya shillings 973,405,663 or 65% for the previous financial years, and Kenya shillings 507,028,283 or 35% of the current year. However, the county executive risks incurring additional losses in form of interest and penalties arising from continued delay in settlement of the payables. In addition, failure to settle debts during the year in which they relate distorts the financial statements and adversely affects the budgetary provisions for the subsequent year as they form a first charge. In the circumstances, the accuracy and completeness of long outstanding payables balance of 1.710,935,139 as at 30th June 2025 could not be confirmed.
Governor?
Chair, allow me to request the Chief Officer Finance to give the response.
Thank you, Chair. The management acknowledges the auditor's observation on the above subject matter and responds as follows. At the time of preparation of the financial statements for the year under review, County Pending Bills Committee had a draft pending bills report of Kenya shillings 1,408,935,109 as captured in the financial statements. This was later verified and Kenya shillings 1,058,675,821 determined as the correct trade payable as of 30th June 2025. This will be adjusted accordingly in the subsequent period. The County Executive of Vihiga is committed to settle these accrued payables in 2 financial years, that is by end of financial year 2026-2027. In the financial year 2025-2026, management has provided for Kenya shillings 589,477,169 in the approved supplementary budget towards settlement of pending bills. We submit, Chair.
Your numbers are not tying at all, The Auditor General is talking of 1.7, you're talking of 1.4, 1.0, and you know under accrual reporting, your liabilities form part of your balance sheet, and by the time you disclose it, it is taken that is what you owe. So, are you disowning your financial statements, particularly your statement of financial position as at 30th of June 2025?
Chair, what happened is we had delays in the release of the exchequers for the months of May and June 2025, and the National Treasury gave a window whereby we were allowed to make payments up to 14th of July, meaning by the time an important point note also, Chair, being the first year of reporting under accrual accounting, OAG requested that as opposed to the PFM provisions of submitting audit accounts by 30th September, this time round we submit by 30th August, which was 1 month earlier. So
CP Atemba.
Yes, Chair.
This is your statement of financial position signed by yourself and Chief Officer Planning Budget M&E. Under trade and other payables, you have reported 1.7 billion. In your response here, you have given us 2 different figures, completely different from what is in the balance sheet. So tell us what number you want us to deal with.
Chair, I submit that we go with 1,058,675 because this is what is verified by the internal pending bills committee, because the departments had not fully submitted their returns with respect to outstanding